guys, it's Way here, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to bring you guys my FIFA 19 FUT birthday predictions. I've got a whole squad of 23 players, all of whom have been very overpowered and popular in previous FIFA titles, and would have great cards if they were re-released on FIFA 19 with a slight boost to their all-round stats. Now, FUT birthday should start in around 2 or 3 weeks time. Last year I believe it began on the 16th of March, but in other FIFAs it has started as late as the 31st. I have actually already done a video talking a lot more about the promo and talking about some investments that you can make to make a lot of coins for it, and if you want to check that out, I'll leave a card in the top right corner and a link down below in the description. But if you guys have enjoyed this one, and without further ado, let's go on into it. So I've tried to incorporate a really wide variety of different players in this squad, with cards from different leagues and nations, and that would cater to a wide variety of different budgets as well, because with some of the previous big promos we've had, like Future Stars and the headliner cards as well, I just don't really think that they're accessible to the vast majority of the player base. Only really the elites that have a lot of coins and that put a lot of time and effort or money into the game can afford the majority of those cards. And it leaves the majority of the people who play FIFA out, and they can't really get their hands on any of these cards. And I think FUT birthday should be all about celebrating previous FIFAs, bring back the nostalgia factor of cards that people will have loved to use a couple of years ago, and that everyone should be able to get involved with in some way. Maybe not everyone can afford all these cards here. There will be some more expensive ones, of course, but I think there should still be plenty of fun cards to use that everyone will be able to afford. And for that reason, this squad isn't full of amazing players. There are some really good cards in there, but I've tried to incorporate lots of fun players that people will have enjoyed using on previous FIFAs that can bring back some of that fun to the current FIFA, trying out players that people might have forgotten about, that could be some good cards to use on the game. So we're going to start off with Manuel Neuer, one of the higher rated players in this team, and back on FIFA 13, FIFA 14 and FIFA 15, he was a little bit lower rated, he was cheaper, and he was very, very overpowered. Everyone used him. Bundesliga teams were very OP back in the day, and he was the go-to option in goal. Brilliant keeper. He hasn't had any special cards this year, so I could definitely see him being included. That's a theme you'll see with many of these players. The vast majority haven't had many special cards this year, and that's what you'll see. If EA do a throwback squad, or any type of squad really, the players they include will be the types of cards that haven't had FUTmas cards, SBC cards, ones to watches, those types of cards like that. I've then got Chris Smalling back on FIFA 17. He was so OP. If you guys played that game, literally everyone used him, along with another player that you'll see in just a moment. He was so OP, and given he's not had any special cards this year, I think he's definitely a shoo-in for a throwback FUT birthday card. He'd have a really nice card, and will be able to link up to lots of other great players in the Premier League. Then got Naldo. If you guys played FIFA 13, FIFA 14, FIFA 15, even FIFA 16, you'll have probably come up against him and used him extensively. It's Naldo. He was an absolute beast. His long shots, his free kicks, they were insane. Such high shot power. He's also massively tall. I think he's like 6'6", very strong, and now he's playing for Monaco. It would be an interesting card there in a new league. You could link him up to maybe Marquinhos, people like that. It would be a fun card to try out. Then we've got another Man United player, and that is Eric Bailly. Again, that was back on FIFA 17. People would use him and Smalling together. On FIFA 18 as well, he was really popular and overpowered. And he's not used as much this year because he had a little bit of a reduction to his pace, but with a nice boost with a FUT birthday card, I think a lot of people would love using him. Now moving up into the midfield, we've got a few other cards here. Ben Arthur is the first one, back on FIFA 16 I think it was. He kind of brought his career back on track. He'd gone to Hull, he'd gone to Newcastle, and he lost his form, but then he went to Nice and he had a really good season for them. He got a team of the season card. A lot of people used him. He got a winter upgrade I think back then as well, and he was so good on that game, and I think it would be cool if he got a FUT birthday card like this, or even a flashback SBC card as well, because he's a lot of fun to use on FIFA. He's got the skill moves with a little bit of a boost. He'd have good pace as well, good shooting, good passing, and it's a card that brings back a lot of good memories for a lot of FIFA players. We've then got Freddie Guarin. If you guys played FIFA 14 and FIFA 15, he was such an overpowered player. Back when he played in the Serie A, people would link him into a Barbo, Cuadrado, James Rodriguez, all of those players like that. He was one of the go-to options in midfield. He had an amazing long shot. You could score from literally anywhere on the pitch with him. His free kicks were insane as well. Very strong. And now he's playing in the Chinese Super League, where we've got a lot of good players still on Ultimate Team. You've got the likes of Alexandre Pato, Hulk, lots of other good cards. So I think this card here, with a nice boost to those stats would be very, very fun to use. We then got Luis Gustavo back on FIFA 13 and FIFA 14 primarily. He was kind of at his peak, I'd say, in terms of his usage on FIFA. He was so OP. He played for Dortmund, he played for, I think it was Wolfsburg as well. And yeah, everyone used him in midfield, along with people like Gundogan, and he just broke up the play so well. Again, as we were saying with Neuer, that's when Bundesliga teams are really OP, and he was a core part of those. And I think he'd have a really nice card with a boost of like 4 or 5 to each of those stats. Now playing for Marseille, that'll be a lot of fun to use. Moving into the forwards, we've then got Alessandrini from a more recent FIFA 18. He was so overpowered. And this card here, I know he does have a League SBC card, but I did want to incorporate some players from more recent FIFAs in, and he stood out for me as one of the most OP players that we've had in previous FIFAs. There was Lozano as well on FIFA 18, but he has a Headliners card that's also really high rated, so I went with Alessandrini instead. Very OP, and this card would be great because you'd be able to link him into Flashback Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We've then got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He was probably my favourite player on FIFA 14. He was really good on FIFA 13 and 15 as well, and he's been great since then, but back then he was a really low rated player. I think he was like a 79 rated gold card on FIFA 14, but he was so good. He had like 96, 97 pace. Crazy. He was so good, and I think he's got 1 inform and a player of the month this year, which isn't too much, so I think he could still have a shout of maybe getting a Flashback FUT birthday card. Then you got Christian Benteke, FIFA 14, that was when he was in his heyday. He was very good back then in the Premier League. Nowadays he's lost his form, but back then he was at Aston Villa, and he scored a lot of goals. And if you played FIFA 14, you'll all know that heading was so OP back then, and he was a headed goal machine. He's 6'3", absolute beast in the air, so strong, and I think he definitely deserves a FUT birthday card. He was good on FIFA 15 as well and FIFA 16, but FIFA 14 was really when he was in his prime when it comes to FIFA. We've then got Luis Muriel. He was very OP back on FIFA 14 and FIFA 15. People used to use him and Abarbo together. I'm not sure what league he played in. I think he may have been in the Serie A. I'm not 100% sure. But he went to Sevilla after that. Now he's back in the Serie A playing for Fiorentina. And this card here would be so nice if you linked him up to someone like Abarbo. Maybe had Cuadrado out wide as well. That would bring back a lot of memories. In many cases, bad memories, because you'll probably all remember getting torn apart by those types of players if you played some of those old FIFAs. We've then got another Colombian, Jackson Martinez. Again, I think it was FIFA 14. FIFA 15 as well, when he was very OP, playing for Porto. As I've already said, FIFA 14 was all about headed goals, and Jackson Martinez really kind of brought all of that ability when it comes to heading into one player. He was tall, he was strong, he had the jumping, the heading accuracy. He was probably the best player on the game if you wanted to cross. His team in the season card was insane. Literally every time the ball got to him, he would win the header and he would score. He was so OP. Even just his regular goal card was crazy, but when he had his team of the season, honestly, one of the best cards I've ever used on any FIFA. He was so OP, and he was only like 20k back in the day as well. Team of the season cards and just players in general did used to be a lot cheaper. And yeah, Jackson Martinez now playing, I'm not entirely sure for what team, but another team in the Liga NOS. I think that card would be pretty cool and would bring back a lot of memories and would actually be really good. Like, he would have some solid stats, especially when it comes to physical. Then got Javinho. FIFA, I think it was FIFA 15 was kind of when he was in his heyday, when people used him, Dumbia and Abarbo as a front three. Oh my god, that was so sweaty. The reason I haven't included those two other players here is because Abarbo's just got an SBC card, and Dumbia was in the FIFA, I think it was FIFA 17 FUT birthday squad, so a lot of those OP players that were in that squad I haven't included here, if you're wondering, because I haven't included quite a few players who were quite OP. I've got a few of them though in this squad, and one of those players is S-Fine. I just thought I had to include him because if you think of FIFA 13, I think S-Fine comes to mind above all other players, because he was so OP back then. He brought a lot of fame to people on YouTube. Bateson especially used to use him and abuse him a lot in wages, and won loads of good players with him. And yeah, S-Fine, man, he was so OP, and I think he definitely deserves a FUT birthday card. He'll be pretty good. Back in the Bundesliga now, very strong, very good physical, and very good pace as well. We've then got Armero. I'm trying to think what FIFA he was good on. I think it was like FIFA 15 and FIFA 14. He used to play for Napoli, and he was one of the go-to options. There weren't that many good left-backs in the Serie A back then. Now we've got Alexandra that everyone uses, but back then we didn't really have too many options. And given how OP Colombians were, with the likes of Jackson Martinez, James Rodriguez, Barbo, Guarin, Armero was a very good option to link into them. He was very quick and very, very OP. Then got Jack Butland. Now, you guys will probably all know what FIFA I'm talking about. FIFA 17. He's the player I was talking about when I said Chris Smalling used to get linked into someone a lot. It was Jack Butland. That strong link, everyone on the game used it. Jack Butland was 82 rated, but he was the best keeper on the game. He made saves that no one else would make. It was insane how overpowered he was. People would use him and Smalling, and then normally Bailly as well, and then maybe someone like Walker at right back. It was so sweaty, and Jack Butland, honestly, he was so OP. It's crazy. Probably the most overpowered a keeper has been on any FIFA. And I think he definitely 100% would get included in a throwback FUT birthday squad. We've then got Lavezzi, now playing in the Chinese Super League. Back in his heyday on Ultimate Team, he was playing for PSG. That was FIFA 14 and FIFA 15. Very, very popular back then. He was playing for Napoli before then as well, and was also equally as good on FIFA. And I think he definitely deserves a card here. Maybe even as a striker, but probably on the left-hand side of midfield. We've then got Elton. Now, he's not really a player that I'd say was especially overpowered, but he's a player that has always been quite popular on FIFA because he's had 5-star skill moves for as long as I can remember, really. He's always been tiny, I think like 5'2" or something. And he's just a player that a lot of people like Zwayback and a lot of YouTubers have used. I remember he had a Team of the Season card back on like FIFA 16 that was extinct. It was like 1 million coins. People were paying massive amounts of coins for him. So he's just a player that's kind of entwined with FIFA history. He's been on loads and loads of FIFAs, and he's always been quite a cool player on the game. I think a lot of people have used him because he's been a Brazilian silver player, and he's got 5-star skills, and he's been quite popular. We've then got Caceres. Now, this card here, I think it was back on FIFA 14 that he was really OP. FIFA 15 as well, he was pretty good, playing for Juventus. Very, very quick back in the day. Nowadays, he's playing for Lazio, and I think this card would be very, very nice. He'd have a good boost to that pace, defending and physical, and he'd become one of the best defenders in the Serie A. We've then got Adair, now playing for Lokomotiv Moscow. It was on FIFA 14 that he was so OP. A lot of you guys may remember Matt HD Gamer building his non-rare squads, and Adair was one of the key components of those, and he was so OP back then. It's crazy. He was only like 76 or 77 rated and played for Braga in the Liga NOS, but he was crazy. He was very, very tall and strong, and as heading was the meta of that game, he suited it very, very well. We've then got Opara, another player a bit like Elton, who wasn't necessarily really popular. Like, not everyone used him, but he's a player that's kind of entwined, as I said, with Elton, with FIFA history. He's always been there. He's always been a very, very quick player. I think he's always been the quickest defender or the quickest centre-back anywhere in the game. He always gets loads of likes on FUT. He's just like a popular player, really, when it comes to FIFA. I did want to include Marvel Win because he used to have like 95 pace as a centre-back, but he's retired and isn't on FIFA 18, or FIFA 19 rather. But Opara, I think, it would be cool if he got a card, because it would just be a random kind of fun card to include. Same with Elton. It would be cool if he had just brought back kind of those nostalgic fun cards. Opara would have amazing pace, like probably about 90. Good physical as well, and yeah, it would just be a cool kind of fun card to include, as I said. We've then got Julian Draxler, and he was another key component of Matt HD Gamer's non-rare beast squads. He used Adair, Draxler, De Bruyne, Varela, I think, as well. There were loads of OP players back then who were all non-rares. I'm not sure why, but non-rare players just seem to play so well on FIFA 14. And I think Draxler and De Bruyne were probably the two best ones. Draxler isn't really used that much currently on FIFA because he's quite slow, but a nice boost to those stats, making him one of the best throwback cards in this team, would be very, very nice. And then finally we've got Jesse Rodriguez. It was back on FIFA 14 that he was very OP. He was a silver striker playing for Real Madrid. He was only like 71 or 72 rated, but he went for around 80,000 coins or so. He was very, very overpowered, and it was back then that people would use a lot of silver teams, non-red gold teams, just lower rated teams using random fun players. And I think that's the type of thing EA should bring back to FIFA 19 with FUT Birthday. Some of those lower rated, more affordable players, but they just kind of have crazy stats, random cards, and that are a lot of fun to use, and would allow people to just kind of expand and try out some different players. Currently on FIFA 19, there's a real meta that everyone kind of plays to, using the same types of players, the same icons, people like Pogba, Kante, Varane, Ramos, Walker, Courtois, all those same types of players, and it just gets a bit boring. Everyone's playing FUT Champions with those types of cards, so it would be cool if EA brought back some cards like this and people just had a bit more fun on the game, really playing division rivals, maybe even some online single matches, and it would just bring back kind of that nostalgia of previous FIFAs, and I think that's what this promo should be all about. And I think for that reason, these are the types of cards EA should be bringing in, not necessarily like crazy super juiced 90, 91, 92 rated cards that not many people can afford, that would all be kind of really meta and overpowered, but just some fun cards to use like this that everyone could afford on the whole, and everyone could try out. So let me know what you think of these players down below in the comments. Let me know what sort of players that you'd also like to see included in a FUT birthday squad like this, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care.